So, really interesting news. Jon Gruden apparently could join the Saints coaching staff. If he doesn't get a head coach job this year, which I'd be really surprised if he did, it looks like he's going to join the staff. It's reported that he won't take over as the offensive coordinator. Maybe he'll just be quality control for the offense. He actually did meet with the team in week 17 before they played the Bucks, so I guess this has been in the works for a while. There already is a connection here with Derek Carr and Jon Gruden. I guess they're still on good terms with what happened in Las Vegas. This is pretty interesting because Jon Gruden was famously resigned in 2021 due to the leaking of his controversial emails. It's pretty crazy. When he first got signed in Oakland, it was like a 10-year, $100 million contract. Crazy, crazy contract for Jon Gruden. With only one Super Bowl ring, that's just an insane amount of money. His time with the Raiders, obviously he didn't live up to that contract, but there were some good things in those years. I think if he wasn't ousted in the league, I think he would have got another head coaching shot. Who knows, maybe in the future he could ultimately become the Saints head coach. Dennis Allen apparently is going to come back for the 2024 season, but I feel like every single year he's on the hot seat. So hypothetically, if Jon Gruden is on the staff and they have another year where they miss the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes over head coaching duties in 2025. Speaking of the Saints, they missed out on the playoffs when they easily could have won the NFC South this year. They kind of botched it. Derek Carr was actually playing pretty good the last 4 or 5 games. I'm not really a huge Derek Carr fan. He had a rough start to the first 3 quarters of the year, but good for him for turning up the last 4 games. I don't know. The Saints franchise, the Saints team they're just kind of in like a awkward era right now. Have a lot of aging stars. Cam Jordan, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas. So I don't know. I think they got to rebuild it soon, or at least retool it a little bit. Olave is a good piece. Marshawn Lattimore can still play. Is he a top 5 corner still? Probably not, but he can still play. Taysom Hill is always fun to watch, but yeah, the Saints are they're just kind of like an in-between team. Like, they're probably not going to be a top 5, top 10, bottom of the league type of team with that roster, but they're not really going to be a playoff team either. So overall, just some interesting news, because I wasn't sure if Jon Gruden would ever be back in the league. I've always been a fan of his. He's got a great voice, great sound bites over the years. Excited to see what he does, honestly. Excited to see what he does. Honestly, I just love if he could bring back Gruden Grinders. I don't know if anyone remembers that show, but it was a dope show. But you never know. The NFC South is probably the worst division in the NFL right now, so they could win it next year. They could win it next year. Panthers aren't doing a thing next year, I can promise you that. The Bucks, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows with them? And then the Falcons, oof. They might do some interesting things in the offseason, so I guess we will see. New Orleans Saints fans, do you like this move? Does this move excite you? How do you feel about Dennis Allen? How do you feel about Derek Carr? How do you feel about this offseason? What do you want the team to do? What do you want Mickey Loomis to do? Interesting roster, middle of the pack roster, could rebuild, could retool. Let me know what you think. Peace.
Slant route means you're slanting towards the inside. Good throw and catch.
Bell's taking the handoff. Avril's the one who made the big stop.
Good job by the defense. They stopped the first down play that time by the offense, and now they have a good situation.
2nd and 13. To Ebron. And now they'll be on the other side of the 50 after this play.
There is nothing like having a great tight end in your offense now. There's so many things you can do with them. Remember, they're in the middle of the field. They can go down the middle. They can go outside. They can go short. They can go across. They can go out. Tough to cover the tight ends in this league now.
Breaking huddle coming to the line at the 42. The Seahawks with a nickel look here on defense. 2nd down and 10. Stafford finds Calvin Johnson.
Nice catch by the receiver, but it still doesn't get a first down.
3rd and 5. Got hit on release. Needing 5 to move the chains. Three-step drop. Johnson's got it, and a first. The Seahawks defense has to be demoralized by that 4th down conversion allowed.
I think anytime on the defensive side when you give up a 4th down conversion, it is heartbreaking, and it has to be heartbreaking for the defense right now.
The Lions from the 27. Has the reception all alone.
Well, the corner route. Some people call it the corner route. They call it a flag, run to the flag of the end zone, or a 7 route. Odd numbers break out. That time we see a nice route by the receiver and a good throw by the quarterback. Sometimes when you have a player with this kind of talent, you're willing to put up with a few drop passes because when he catches it, he has a chance of going all the way.
2nd and goal from the 5. Throws the pass. Johnson's met after a gain of 3. They're just grinding away down here, inching closer to the end zone.
Well, that's what you got to do sometimes. It's hard always to think that you're going to come out and just make big plays. You got to do the dirty work, and this offense is doing it right now. What a job by the defense down on the goal line. They were playing run all the way. It was a run. They got the penetration, and they tackled the runner for a loss.
The Seahawks defense now is going to go nickel. Has it. Touchdown.